Hello and welcome to Unshakable with Human Design. I'm your host, Nicole Leno, and we are here for the second episode in our type series. There's only 5 types, so there's going to be 5 episodes. We've already done one. We did one on the manifester, and now we're doing our second episode. And the reason I'm doing this type series and why we wanted to dive into it here was one, we've never done one. Two, I haven't really done episodes just being like, let's talk about being a manifester. Let's talk about being a generator. What does this really mean? Obviously, we talk about this stuff all the time, but I think type is one of those things that's talked about so much. It is the most popular aspect of human design because it's the easiest probably to understand. When we categorize people, there's only 5 categories, so it's a little bit easier to understand to a new group of people what type is. But it's so much deeper than people will usually go to. So it's people usually, hear that they're a generator or something, and they'll hear it and they'll be like, yeah, okay, I'm supposed to do what lights me up. All right. And then they kind of move past it and they either say, this isn't for me, and they abandon human design altogether, or they get into it and they start going into other things because they're like, oh, tell me more, tell me more. And I think that what I see with so many people that are, in business by design, and people that are working with us in other ways and coaching and with some of our programs, is that, we, and that's what I love about what I do, because people will like blow through all of the info, right? They'll read it all, they'll take it all in, they're saving all the Instagram carousels and all of this stuff. And then they join something like what we do, and we take them through it over again. And this is where you become a master of yourself. And type is one of those things that even people who are in business by design, who've been working with me for a while, I'm constantly reminding them of their type. I'm constantly reminding them of how their tendency is to work outside of their type. And that's probably the thing that's giving them issues and making things harder. So intellectually knowing is one thing. Living it is completely different. So that's why I wanted to do this deep dive into these. I think that I have a slightly different perspective on some of this stuff that might be valuable to people. So I wanted to bring it to the show. So here we are. So type is so valuable. It's obviously the foundation of everything. I think that it's the easiest part when you're starting to use human design. That's what I think where it really becomes useful, because type gives us our strategy. Type gives us our signature and our not self theme. This starts to paint a picture of how we can become aware of the way we're meant to operate, right? And it can show you why you get stuck and how to correct the energy flow so you can move in alignment. That's what I think is super powerful about this. So we're going to dive into it. If you're loving this episode, share it on Instagram. Tag me. I'm at Nicole Leno Official. And tell me what you'd like to know about your type, or what's confusing you about your type. I'd love to know, because I'll put stuff up on Instagram if there are other things that we didn't cover in here and you're curious about them. I'd love to know your thoughts. Share them with me. We also have something really cool. I just created something I have been talking about doing for a really long time, and I finally did it, a secret podcast. So we created a separate podcast other than this one. So we created a separate private podcast called Aligned and Profitable. This is about building an aligned and profitable business with human design. It is I'm giving you the nitty gritty of what it really takes to build a multi-6-figure business. We take it to you in stages. So how to build a 6-figure business and how to build a multi-6-figure business. What's the energetics of that, and what's the strategy behind that? Quite frankly, I think there's a lot of bullshit out there. There's a lot of omitting of information. People telling you that you need just one thing. You just need human design, and that's all you'll need, and it's going to solve all of your problems. No, it's going to solve some of your problems. But if you don't have a background in business strategy, then it's not going to do the things that you want it to do for you. So we're giving you the whole story in that podcast, and you can binge to your heart's content. You can go all at once and listen to all the episodes, or you can take your time with them. It's totally up to you. So I hope that you check that out. All you have to do is DM me the words secret podcast on Instagram. Don't say secret podcast, please, or anything like that, because it'll throw off the bot and you won't get the link. Or you could go to NicoleLano.com/secret podcast, and you can sign up right there and get your copy of it. All right. I hope you do. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think. All right, let's get into today's type. We're going to dive into the manifesting generators and going all out of order with this. I wanted to keep you guessing. and manifesting generators, this is, of course, my type. So you might hear me say we when I'm talking about this, because these are my people. What makes somebody a manifesting generator? Let's get into just the technicalities here. You're a manifesting generator if you have your sacral center defined, colored in, and you have a motor to the throat. Doesn't have to be your sacral to the throat, any motor to the throat, either directly or indirectly. That is how you become a manifesting generator. Okay, so similar to that manifester with the motor to the throat, but what makes you a manifesting generator is your sacral's defined. If your sacral's defined, you are a generator of some kind. Okay, so motor to the throat, directly or indirectly, puts you in the manifesting generator category. Now, the manifesting generator, type tells us what our aura is. That's part of what this is. Anybody who has the sacral defined is going to have this warm, enveloping aura. However, manifesting generators are different than generators. That's why they have their own episode. and manifesting generators, we've got a bit of that manifester in us. It changes our energy. We're not like the generators. We are different. I don't care what other people say. We have to respond. We have that same strategy, but we're different. And it affects our energy. We feel different than generators do. We're a bit more intense. Our aura is that warm, pulling in, enveloping aura. Our energy does pull things into us, but it pulls things in very, very differently. A manifesting generator is going to have more denseness. There's going to be a little bit more of that power in the energy field, where a little bit more like that manifester of manifesting generators, you might be drawn in and then you might be intimidated. That's a really common feeling for people to feel with manifesting generators, because there is that power center, where their energy is a bit denser, closer to them. But it still does the things that generator aura does, which is pull things in. It's why the strategy is to respond. We don't chase, we respond. The energy will do the work if we let it, if we concentrate on what's important for us, which is to do what feels good, to turn the sacral motor on, which most of us are not waiting for. And I'll talk about that in a bit. But manifesting generators, the role that they play, who they are, that's the beauty of type. It can give you a little glimpse. Again, without labeling, without being like, I have to be this, or that means every single one of us is like this. I try to stay away from that. These are generalities that I'm talking about. You're still an individual, unique human being on top of all the aspects of your design. So I never mean to make it sound like I'm telling you who you are. But generally, manifesting generators are visionary action takers. We move fast. And we tend to want a creative hand in what's happening. We don't just want to follow a process. We want to find a new way. We want to shake things up a little bit. The strategy is to respond and initiate. Respond, then initiate. Okay, I get something that I'm excited about. Now I go do it. Not waiting for anything else. But there is an outside influence in this. People always ask me, can manifesting generators take action and initiate on an idea? Is an idea a response? And the answer, I would say it depends, but in general, I would always say no. So I'll get ideas. I get ideas all the time. But really what I'm doing, usually it's my mind that's excited about an idea. My sacral hasn't really responded to anything. So I wait for something in the outside world to come to me, and I'm seeing if the engine turns on. Does the motor say, uh-huh? Does the motor say, yeah, I want to do that? Because everything, all success with type, what it teaches us is that the way we enter into things matters. It's why we will have, we have the potential as manifesting generators to have sustainable energy, right? We can go and go and go. When we're turned on. And turned on doesn't just mean like sexy time turned on. I don't mean it like that. Turned on means your motor's on. Your sacral said yeah, and it turned on. Now you're cooking literally with gas rather than rubbing two sticks together wondering when the flame will come, if it will come. We go further when we're running with the motor, right? But if you don't wait for something, if you don't turn the motor on, then you're working without it. And that's when we fizzle. And that's when this is all the mind. This is all the mind. I got an idea. I think this will work. I'm excited about it. That means I'm in response. I'm doing what lights me up. I'm following my manifesting generator type. Now I'm doing the thing. And then 2 weeks goes by and you're not excited about it anymore. Sound familiar? And now you're questioning yourself. I thought I was really excited about it. I was lit up. I know what I was doing. You're still in your head. So I'm always coaching my clients to, I think being a manifesting generator, Ra always said, those poor deers. And that made me feel bad when I heard that, because it's really hard being a manifesting generator. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I think every type comes with its challenges. And I think the challenge for the manifesting generator is to not feel like we always have to be moving and creating. Manifestors have this too. They're more tired and they want more freedom and they want to be left alone, so they don't get caught up in that mess quite as easily as we do. We have so much energy to burn off. And we're so ambitious and driven and want to have this vision, and we want to have impact, and we want to love what we do. I think that's why entrepreneurship is such a draw for manifesting generators, because we're like, yeah, we want the freedom, we want to do different things, we're multi-passionate, so we want to like squish all of our interests and skills together and sell them to people. We're very enterprising people. But I think the challenge is feeling like you need to be moving all the time and you need to be creating all the time. Manifesting generators have a hard time sitting in discomfort. We'd rather move through it. And that's okay. You can move through it. You just, you're probably going to build things that don't work. You've got to be down for that game then. But what usually happens is then you get in your head, it didn't work. Oh, it's not working. Oh. And unfortunately, sometimes we're taking action on things that cost money. So it can make us not the greatest business people, particularly in the beginning. We're investing in all these things because we think we're lit up, we're excited, we think it's going to work. It doesn't work. So the key with this, like manifesting generators, we are natural powerhouses. We are the most magnetic when we are excited about things and we are just unapologetically doing what lights us up. People are they marvel at the way we move. How is it they can do so many things? How is it they are good at all of these things? Wow, look at her go. You're amazing. That's things that manifesting generators will hear a lot because we move fast with a lot of power. That is our magnetism, is letting people see us in that state. We're not as warm and fuzzy as a generator. That's not our vibe. We are a little bit more of like that powerhouse kind of action taker. We need to be seen taking action. But the key to finding success for us is finding a balance between taking action and taking messy action, which is part of our thing, letting ourselves be interested in lots of different things, and letting ourselves go where the life force wants to go. But then the balance is not being distracted or unfocused. Because here's what I see. I see this all the time. So, and I've done this, so no shame in the game. So I'll see manifesting generators come into like Business by Design, or I'm working with them through private coaching or something. And when they build something and it doesn't work, they get deflated. So because our work and what we create is so important to us, it is so precious to us, and we care and we want to be successful. So this is where, putting business on top of this stuff complicates things, because we have livelihood that attaches to the success. We can't just allow things to be because there are expectations. So when our work isn't appreciated, it doesn't sell, it doesn't do well, we get demotivated. We're all, we can get in that meh. Now our sacral is like dead, right? And rather than sit in that discomfort, look at what we created. Look at, maybe, do we need to revisit it? Do we need to relaunch it? Do we need to do something? Just tweak it a little bit. We're bad tweakers. We are excellent burn the bridges and build again people. So what happens is, I see people, something doesn't work, they go meh, and then rather than sit in that discomfort of what happened and actually analyze it, look at it, they throw everything in the garbage and they start again, because that feels better. But it's also why Manny Gens can move fast, can do so much, but also appear to get nowhere. And it's sad. This is why they say projectors are such great guides for manifesting generators, because a projector will say, don't throw that out. We can make something from that. What are you doing? Why don't you take a break? Because the projector can feel the manifesting generator is actually way out of alignment with their sacral. Like, this doesn't feel good. You need to go do something fun. Take a breather with this. Step away from it. Or a projector, if they're on your team, they're looking at, let me take a look at it. Let me take a look and see if we can salvage something. This is why no type is really meant to do everything themselves. It's meant to be a little family that serves each other. This is why teams that are built by design, when they have the right makeup, can be highly productive and very happy and fulfilled, because everybody's being asked to contribute in their unique way. So, if you're a Manny Gen, I guess my final words to you are that, your magic is that in that multi-passionate nature and in that beautiful chaos that it can bring. It's very exciting when we're in our truly excited state. Like, my husband is a projector. And I know, there are certain times where I look at him, and if I'm comparing, I'd be like, he's so calm. He's kind of just so chill, and maybe I should be like that. That's how years ago I sometimes looked at us. We're like, I'm crazy. And well, he was kind of lazy. That was how we looked at each other. But human design has given us this beautiful way of looking at each other and being like, oh, I see how we're different and we're meant to be. And I know that part of the attraction for him is that I'm into everything, and that I move so fast, and that I'm excited about all these different things, and I bring that excitement and life force into this home and into our lives. Vacations would be very boring without me. And they know that, both my husband and my son. I'm the one who brings all of that fire. They're into things, but in a very different way. I bring that excitement. That's what we do. And it can be a little bit of that beautiful chaos. But the minute you try to make it perfect, or you worry about what someone else will think, or you're worried about the outcome, that's what stops you. So it's about noticing really how you get into these things is where it starts. Are you really in response? Most of the time, the answer is no. And that's what I see. Most of the time, what I see is that people will not pay attention to the actual responses they're getting, and they won't take action. And they are thinking about things, trying to make them make sense, coming up with a good idea, and then taking action on the thing that they are just trying to initiate from their head. And they wonder why it's not working. because they're still approaching this from a mental place. So you have to shift it into, you've got to learn what your sacral feels like on and what your sacral feels like off. Go do your favorite thing. What's your favorite thing? Is it, swimming in the ocean? Is it, I don't know what your thing is, but whatever it is, go do it and notice how your body feels. Notice how you can feel when your energy kicks on. And remember that feeling so you can recreate it and you know when it's happening and when it's not. This is the first step, is to recognize your sacral on and off. Okay? All right, we're going to leave this one here. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you download the Secret Podcast if you want to learn how to build an aligned and profitable business with your human design, incorporating business strategy with human design, and learn the entire process behind it. All you have to do is DM me the words Secret Podcast on Instagram. I am at Nicole Lano Official. Or you could go to NicoleLano.com/secret podcast and you can get it right there. Thanks so much. I will see you in the next episode. And remember, in order to have an unshakable business, you must first become an unshakable human. So thanks for letting us help you become unshakable with human design. We will see you next time.